Why cats love your dirty clothes. You washed them. You fold them. You put them away neatly in the closet. A cat. It ignores all of that. Walks straight past the clean, expensive, soft bed you bought and dives headfirst into your dirty laundry like it just found treasure. Seriously, what is going on here? Well, welcome to the strange, hilarious world of feline obsession. First, your scent is everything. To you, your clothes might smell like sweat outdoors or a long day of chaos. But to your cat, that smell is familiar security. It's you. Your scent is comfort, identity, and emotional safety all wrapped into one fabric. So when your dirty clothes are lying around, your cat isn't thinking a W. It's thinking home, and that changes everything. Second, emotional attachment. Cats are not as distant as people think. They just express love differently. When your cat curls up on your worn t-shirt or sinks into your laundry basket, it's basically surrounding itself with your presence. It's like a warm, invisible hug, without you even being there. That's why sometimes they choose your hoodie over their expensive cat bed. Because your hoodie smells like you stayed alive today. And that matters more to them than luxury. Third, texture and comfort. Let's be honest, dirty clothes are soft, crumpled, and perfectly imperfect. They form little nests, warm pockets, and cozy shapes that feel naturally inviting. To a cat, it's not laundry. It's a pre-built luxury nest. No assembly required. Fourth, stress relief and security. Cats are sensitive creatures. When they feel unsure, overstimulated, or just want calm energy, they look for something stable and comforting. And nothing in your house is more emotionally stable to them than your scent. So they bury themselves in your clothes like, everything is fine, human was here. Fisafi. And finally, the funny truth. Cats also love your dirty clothes because they know it gets your attention. You walk in, see your freshly folded pile destroyed, and suddenly it's a full investigation scene. On cat, sitting right in the middle like a proud criminal who refuses to plead guilty because, in its mind, it didn't steal your clothes. It upgraded them. Why cats always interrupt your work? You're in the zone. Focus locked. Deadline pressure rising. Your fingers are moving fast. Your brain is fully engaged. Everything is perfect. And then it happens. A paw lands on your keyboard. A tail blocks your screen. A dramatic meow cuts through your concentration like a breaking news alert. And just like that, your productivity is gone. But why does your cat always interrupt your work at the worst possible moment? Well, first things first, attention is the real reason. Your cat doesn't care about your emails, deadlines, or spreadsheets. What it does care about is the fact that your attention is fully locked onto something that is not it. And that is unacceptable. To a cat, attention is currency if you are giving it to a glowing screen instead of a living, breathing, extremely important feline being. It will take immediate action. Disruption mode activated. Second, reason timing. Cats are masters of perfect chaos. Timing. They can sleep for hours, ignore the entire world, and then suddenly wake up the exact second you start something important. You could be doing absolutely nothing for 3 hours. No problem. But the moment you open your laptop, instant appearance, like a furry little manager checking if you're working correctly. Third, reason curiosity. To your cat, your work is not work. It's a mysterious glowing object that makes sounds, changes colors, and steals your attention for long periods of time. Naturally, your cat thinks, if I sit on this, maybe I will understand it. Spoiler, it doesn't understand it, but it still tries every chimmy. Fourth, reason control. Cats love boundaries, specifically breaking them. If there's a clear line between your space and their space, your cat will immediately test it. Keyboard crossed. Nochivuki. Sudden. Liptopi claimed. It's not interruption. It's occupation. And finally, the emotional truth. Your cat interrupts your work because you are its favorite thing in the room, not your laptop, not Jobby, not your productivity goals. You. So when it jumps onto your desk, blocks your screen, or demands attention in the middle of your most important task, it's not trying to ruin your day. It's trying to join it in the only way it knows how. So next time your work disappears under a paw and your meeting turns into chaos, just remember, in your cat's mind, you weren't working alone anyway. You were just being supervised. Why cats walk across your keyboard every time you're finally focused? Deadline is close. Your fingers are flying across the keyboard like your life depends on it. Then, out of nowhere, a furry missile launches itself onto your desk. Your screen freezes. Your document disappears. Random letters explode everywhere like a digital disaster. And there it is, your cat, standing proudly on your keyboard like it just completed a very important mission. But the real question is, why does this happen every single time you try to work? Well, welcome to the truth. First, attention. Your keyboard is where all the magic happens. Every time you type, click, or move your mouse, your cat notices one thing instantly. You are paying attention to this object. And if there's one thing cats cannot tolerate, it's anything getting more attention than them. So naturally, your keyboard becomes the enemy, and your cat becomes the solution. A fluffy interruption system. Second, warmth and comfort. Laptops and keyboards are warm, and cats, they are professional heat seekers. That cozy glow coming from your device feels like a luxury. Heating pad designed just for them. So, while you're trying to finish work, your cat is checking into a 5-star spa. No reservation. Permission. Just vibes. Third, curiosity overload. To a cat, your keyboard is not work equipment. It's a mysterious control panel. Buttons that make sounds, lights that change, screens that react instantly. Every tap feels like you're casting spells, and your cat is thinking, if I step on this, what happens? So it tries again and again, just to be sure. Fourth, control and dominance. Let's be honest, cats don't like boundaries. If you're focused on something, they want in, not because they understand your deadline, but because they want to be part of your world at the exact moment you don't expect them. So they sit right in the center of your workspace, like, yes, this meeting now includes me. And finally, the emotional truth. Your cat doesn't jump on your keyboard to ruin your work. It does it because you are the most interesting thing in the room. Even when you're busy, even when you're stressed, to your cat, you are the main event. So the next time your screen fills with random gibberish and your project disappears under a paw, take a deep breath, because in your cat's mind, it's not sabotage, it's participation. Why cats act like they own the house? You pay the rent, you clean the floor, you buy the food. Somehow, you are not the owner. You're Kahadis. It walks into the room like it's inspecting property. It sits in the center of the couch like a CEO at a board meeting. And it looks at you slow blink, zero urgency like you are the guest. And it is the landlord. And honestly, it believes that. But why do cats act like they own the house? First reason, territory. Cats are naturally territorial animals. In their world, space is everything. Once a cat marks a place with its scent, in its mind, it becomes secured property. So your sofa, your bed, your favorite chair, all slowly become part of its kingdom without any legal paperwork or discussion. Just silent takeover. Second reason, confidence. Cats don't question their right to exist wherever they want. They don't apologize for taking space. They don't ask permission to sit on your laptop during an important meeting. In their mind, everything is simply available. And if it's available, it's theirs. No debate. Third reason, routine domination. Cats are observant geniuses. They notice patterns when you wake up, when you sit, when you leave, when you return. Slowly, they adapt their behavior around your schedule. Until your schedule starts adapting around them, you move for them, you wait for them, you even stop what you're doing when they decide it's time to walk across your keyboard like a fluffy CEO approving your work. And here's the most emotional twist. Cats don't act like owners because they want control. They act like owners because they feel completely safe. A cat only behaves this relaxed, this confident, this unbothered when it trusts its environment deeply. So when your cat sprawls across your bed like it signed a lease, what it's really saying is, this place is safe. Belong here. You are part of it too. Of course, that doesn't stop it from knocking things off tables just to test gravity, or sitting exactly where you planned to sit 5 seconds ago. Because in the cat's mind, logic is simple. If you live here, you live here with me, not the other way around. So the next time your cat takes over your chair the moment you stand up, don't get annoyed. Just accept the truth. You don't own the house. You are just the staff member in charge of maintenance, working under very soft, very judgmental management. Why cats love watching you from a distance. Ever feel like you're being watched, but when you turn around, nobody's there. You sit on your couch, you scroll your phone, you take a sip of water, and then you feel it, that silent, intense presence. You slowly look up, and there it is, your cat, sitting across the room like a tiny, furry detective who has been assigned a full-time mission. Observe human behavior at all costs. But here's the real question. Why do cats love watching you from a distance like that? First, let's be honest. Cats are not clingy. They don't follow you around like shadows 24/7. Instead, they prefer something far more strategic. Distance. Because for a cat, distance means control. From afar, your cat can see everything without being seen too clearly. Every movement you make becomes part of their mental map. You stand you up. Noted. You walk to the kitchen. Interesting. You open the fridge. Now, that's breaking news. To your cat, you are not just a human. You are a moving mystery machine. And they are the silent observer trying to decode your strange behavior. But there's another layer to this. Cats are naturally cautious creatures. In the wild, staying slightly distant keeps them safe while still allowing full awareness of their surroundings. Even in your living room, that instinct never fully disappears. So when your cat sits across the room, half hidden, eyes locked on you, it's not being cold, it's being aware. And yes, sometimes it's also curiosity, because let's face it, humans are weird. You randomly dance in the kitchen. You talk to yourself. You stare at glowing rectangles for hours. And sometimes you make eye contact with your cat and say, "What?" Like they're the weird one. So your cat watches carefully, quietly, judging, maybe a little. But here's the twist that most people miss. That distant stare is also comfort. If your cat is relaxed enough to sit far away and simply observe you, it means something powerful. It trusts the environment. It trusts you. It feels safe enough not to constantly be on edge. So that silent watching, it's not just suspicion. It's connection, a quiet kind of love, expressed through distance instead of closeness. So the next time you feel those eyes on you from across the room, don't get spooked. Just remember, somewhere in that fluffy little head, your cat is thinking everything is normal. The human is acting strange again. I will continue monitoring. Why cats always find the warmest spot? It happens every single time. You leave your freshly warmed blanket for just 2 minutes. You call me back. And there it is, your cat, curled up exactly in the warmest spot, like it has been waiting for this moment its entire life. Eyes half closed, face completely relaxed, living its best life while you're left standing there freezing, betrayed and confused. And you think, how does it always know? Well, the truth is both hilarious and surprisingly genius. Cats are walking, purring heat detectors. Their bodies are naturally sensitive to temperature changes, far more than humans. Even as like swarm, a lip-toppy glow. Or your recently vacated seat feels like a luxury spa to them. So, when you stand up and leave a warm spot behind, your cat doesn't hesitate. It claims it immediately, like royalty taking a throne. No guilt, no delay, no permission needed. Just instant occupation. But there's more going on here than just comfort. In the wild, warmth equals survival. A warm place means safety, energy conservation, and protection from cold environments that could drain a small animal's body quickly. Even though your house has heating, soft beds, and cozy blankets, your cat still runs on ancient instincts that say, find heat, securi heat, never lose heat. And guess what produces the most reliable heat source in the house? Phew. Your body temperature is basically a portable heater. When you're sitting, sleeping, or lying down, your cat isn't just being cute, it's strategically positioning itself near the best energy source available. That's why your laptop becomes a magnet. That's why sunny windows become battle zones. And that's why your freshly used chair becomes a VIP lounge within seconds. But here's the funniest part. Cats don't just find warm spots, they hunt them. They observe. They wait. They calculate timing like tiny furry engineers. The second you move, it's like a switch flips in their brain. Heat vacancy detected. Move in immediately. And once they settle in, luck, because now you're the one adjusting your life around them. Standing instead of sitting, using the cold side of the bed, warming up a spot just so they can reclaim it again. And somehow, you hesitate because deep down, you know the truth. Your cat isn't stealing your warm spot. It's simply following the oldest rule of survival in the cutest possible way. If it's warm, it belongs to me now. Why cats guard you while you sleep? It's the middle of the night. Your room is completely dark. Everyone is asleep. And suddenly, you wake up for one terrifying reason. Your cat is sitting on your chest, not moving, not blinking, just staring directly into your soul. For one split second, your brain screams. This is how horror movies start. But here's the surprising truth. Your cat may actually be protecting you. Sounds crazy, right? Cats might act cold and independent during the day, but when you sleep, something fascinating happens. In your cat's eyes, you become vulnerable. You're unconscious, defenseless, completely unaware of what's happening around you. And deep inside that tiny furry body, ancient instincts suddenly kick in. In the wild, cats survive by staying alert while others rest. Even domestic cats still carry those protective survival behaviors. That's why many cats quietly patrol the house at night, sit near doors, stare out windows, or sleep close to their favorite human. And yeah, if your cat sleeps beside you, on you, or near your bed, that's a huge sign of trust. You are officially part of its inner circle. But wait, it gets even more interesting. Cats are incredibly sensitive to movement, breathing, and sound. While you're asleep, your cat notices every little change, your breathing pattern, tossing around, strange noises outside, even footsteps in another room. That's why some cats suddenly wake up and stare toward the hallway at 3 a.m. like tiny bodyguards investigating danger. Meanwhile, you're under the blanket pretending not to notice. And here's the emotional part most people don't realize. Cats often guard the people they love most. Even though cats don't show affection like dogs, their version of love is quieter and more mysterious. Sitting near you, while you sleep is their way of saying, "You're safe." I'm Eddie, of course. Sometimes they also wake you up at 5 a.m. because the food bowl is 2% empty. So let's not pretend they're perfect heroes. But still, that nighttime behavior means something powerful. Your cat feels emotionally connected to you. It trusts your scent, your presence, and your space enough to stay close during the most vulnerable hours of the night. That's a big deal in the cat world. So the next time you wake up and see your cat silently watching you from the corner of the room, like a furry security guard from another dimension, don't panic. Your cat probably isn't plotting your downfall. It's standing watch because while the whole world sleeps, your tiny little hunter thinks it's your job to survive until morning. Why cats sit like royalty? Have you ever noticed this? Your cat jumps onto the couch, folds its paws like a king on a throne, lifts its chin, and stares at everyone in the room like it owns the house. And honestly, pidon, you know it probably does. Cats don't just sit. They pause. Every movement feels dramatic. Every glance feels intentional. It's like your cat woke up one morning and decided, "Yes, I shall rule these humans today." But here's the wild part. There's actually a reason cats sit like royalty. It all starts with confidence. In the animal world, vulnerable creatures stay nervous. They crouch low, stay alert, and prepare to run at any second. But cats, when a cat sits calmly with its paws tucked in, chest up, and eyes half open, it's basically saying, "I feel completely safe here." That royal posture is a sign of comfort, control, and absolute confidence. And let's be real, cats have mastered confidence better than humans ever will. But wait, it gets even more fascinating. Cats are natural-born predators. In the wild, they survive by observing everything around them without wasting energy. So, when your cat sits perfectly still like an emperor watching over a kingdom, it's actually doing something ancient, monitoring the environment while staying relaxed, enough to react instantly if needed. That's why they always look so composed. Meanwhile, humans panic after losing their TV remote for 14 seconds. And then there's the legendary paw tuck, also known as the cat loaf. You know the pose. Paws disappear, eyes calm, body compact like a fluffy little bread loaf fresh out of the oven. Cute. Absolutely. But that posture also helps cats conserve body heat and protect their paws. So, while we're busy taking photos and calling them adorable, your cat is secretly using elite survival mechanics perfected over thousands of years. Now, here's the funniest part. Cats also understand attention better than we think. They know humans react to elegance, the slow blink, the graceful stretch, the royal sitting pose. It all makes them look mysterious, intelligent, and superior. And somehow, it works every single time. We buy them fancy beds they never use. We apologize after accidentally bumping into them. We literally adjust our sleeping position so the cat stays comfortable. That's not ownership. That's a monarchy. So the next time your cat sits proudly in the center of the room like an ancient ruler guarding its empire, remember this. Your cat isn't pretending to be royalty. In its mind, already's. Why cats suddenly freeze and stare? Picture this. It's 2:13 in the morning. Your house is dead silent. You roll over in bed and suddenly notice your cat sitting perfectly still in the hallway. Not moving, not blinking, just staring straight at the wall. Your heart starts racing. You whisper, "What are you looking at?" And somehow, that makes it even creepier. But here's the shocking truth. Your cat probably isn't seeing ghosts. What they are seeing, hearing, or sensing is actually far more fascinating. Cats are built differently from us. Their senses are unbelievably powerful. A cat can hear tiny sounds hidden inside walls, scratching insects, moving pipes, even electrical buzzing humans completely ignore. So, when your cat suddenly freezes and locks its eyes on one spot, there's a good chance it detected something your weak human ears missed entirely. And honestly, that freeze response is pure hunter instinct. In the wild, cats survive by becoming statues. The moment they notice movement or danger, they stop instantly to study every detail. No wasted motion, no noisy, just laser focus. Your fluffy little couch potato still carries the instincts of a deadly predator. Crazy, right? But wait, it gets even stranger. Sometimes cats stare because their brains are processing information at lightning speed. They're tracking shadows, tiny movements, reflections, or even changes in light that humans barely notice. To us, the room looks empty. To your cat, it's an action movie. As sometimes they stare directly at you. That intense eye contact, it could mean curiosity, affection, confusion, or your cat silently judging every life decision you've ever made. Honestly, with cats, it's usually all four. Now, here's the part that gives people chills. Cats also freeze when they feel uncertain or startled. A sudden unfamiliar smell, a distant noise outside, or something changing in their environment can trigger their analyze first, react later mode. That's why they suddenly stop mid-step like someone pressed a pause button. 1 second they're walking normally. The next second they look like a furry security guard protecting the entire house. So the next time your cat suddenly freezes and stares into the darkness, don't panic. Your cat probably isn't seeing the supernatural. They're just doing what cats have done for thousands of years, watching, listening, calculating, and reminding us that no matter how cute they look, there's still a tiny wild hunter living inside them. Why cats sit in the most random places. You turn around for just 1 second, and suddenly, your cat is sitting in the most random place imaginable. Not the bed, not the couch, not the cozy cat bed you bought with love and money. Oh, it's sitting inside a cardboard box, lid, or on top of your shoes, or directly in the middle of the hallway like a furry roadblock. And you just stand there thinking, why? WHY here? Well, welcome to the mysterious logic of cats. First, reason, strategic positioning. Cats don't choose places randomly, at least not in their mind. That random spot is actually a carefully selected observation point. From there, they can see everything movement, sounds, and especially you. Because yes, you are the main event. To a cat, location equals control. If it can see the entire room while staying slightly out of reach, it feels safe, alert, and powerful. So that weird corner you don't understand, that's actually its surveillance headquarters. Second, reason attention magnet. Let's be honest, cats are masters of attention engineering. If they sit somewhere inconvenient, you will notice them. You will walk around them. You will talk to them. You might even question your entire life choices while stepping over them. And that's exactly the point, because in that moment, the cat wins. Attention acquired. Third reason, comfort in chaos. Cats are not obsessed with luxury the way humans think. Sometimes the most random spots are just perfect. Warm sunlight hitting a tile floor, a soft pile of laundry, a slightly uncomfortable box that somehow feels like a throne. If it feels right in the moment, it becomes the best place in the world. No logic required. Fourth, reason, curiosity, and experimentation. Cats treat life like a constant experiment. What happens if I sit here? What if I block this doorway? What if I choose this exact spot and confuse the human emotionally? They are basically tiny scientists, testing reality one sit at a time. And finally, the emotional truth. Cats don't sit in random places because they are confused. They do it because the world is their playground, and every spot has meaning only they understand. So when you see your cat sitting in the sink, on your laptop bag, or directly in the middle of nowhere, just remember, it's not random, it's a declaration, A silent message that says, I exist here, and therefore this place belongs to me now.